See, it's a question of the strategy is the right strategy. I think Mr. Moti also himself articulated that 3.0 is the right strategy because the challenges in front of the industry are very different. We have challenges of commoditization of business, which is going to impact in the long run. If you look at the rates that we have today are similar to what we had in 2000, which means in the last 13 years we actually have not seen a rate increase.
Yeah.
But if you look at the wages have gone up almost about 60-70% in the last 13 years. So I think and this is going to become worse because you are going to have challenges of competition of the traditional ADM space that we're talking about. If you look at on a scalability issues today, yes, we produce 1 million engineers a year, but I think the engineers who are really employable, who can actually speak good English, who have good communication skills, who can talk to the client, go in front of the client and work in the client, I think are very few. And if you look at that, the other industry, whatever said and done, the GDP is still growing at about 4.5%. You are still seeing other companies growing. So there is going to be demand for these freshers as we speak. And the wages will keep going up. You'll be running scalability issues and such challenges. So I think the right strategy in the long run is to definitely move the value chain, focus more on products and platform, more transformational deals. So you break the linearity between revenues, and so I think that's the right strategy. Now, what he had articulated was that in the pursuit of the strategy, you also have to take care of the near future. There is no point in looking at the goalpost, which is a long-term strategy, but you still have to survive quarter on quarter. You still have to get good growth. So, and today the market is that there's a lot of large outsourcing deals in the market. Now, the discretionary spend has kind of disappeared in the market because of the budget cuts which the clients have. And in that scenario, if you keep focusing on only the large transformation deals, when the business is actually on the ADM space, you're actually leaving business on the table. So I think the long-term strategy is right, but we have to focus and make tactical changes depending on how the environment is, what kind of business deals are coming up. So I think long-term strategy is the same. I think it's just about making shifts to also grow at the decent pace that we need to grow at, and also good margins. See, when we say the environment has improved, definitely the deal pipeline is far more healthier than the same time that we saw last year.
Sure.
So the deal pipeline is better. The clients are far more confident. They're talking about large RG spending, making investments. But the discretionary spend is something that we have to wait and see because a lot of it will come into the next year budgets. Mm-hmm. The good part is that the clients are showing a confidence which shows that some of the discretionary spend will get budgeted for next year. Sure. To that extent, it's a good sign. But I think still the decision-making cycles are still large. We have not seen the decision-making cycle is actually coming down. To that extent, I think we'll have to wait and see how this quarter pans out, how the client budgets are closed, and what kind of discretionary spend they put into the budget, and then hopefully decision cycles also will become shorter as we go along. No, we should, because the fact is that if you look at it, as I said, the customers are far more confident. They're talking about IT investments. We have made changes in the way we used to look at our sales engine. We are reinventing ourselves in terms of our sales effectiveness. So I think a combination of these two factors should definitely result in better growth, and that is what we're preparing for. And that's what I was telling in my media interaction with the analysts, saying that we are making the right investments, or we are making all the investments that we need to make. I'm really not focused on margin this quarter and next quarter, as long as the money that we're investing will give us good returns in the future. So I think to that extent, I think we are doing everything that we need to do to ensure that we get good growth, superior growth or superior margins. Last 8 quarters. In the history of Infosys in 32 years, we have not seen declining quarters, right? But in the last 8 quarters, we had 2 declining quarters. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody believes that we should continue growing quarter on quarter, but we have seen declining quarters in the last 8 quarters.
Sure.
And we have had good quarters and bad quarters. In that scenario, you're always, you don't want to be doubly sure before you actually go ahead and change the guidance. That is one. Second is the Q3 and Q4 are traditionally weaker quarters, even if you look at just the number of working days, because a lot of our business is time and material business, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if there are less working days, there's less billing to the client. Yeah. Automatically the growth comes down, right? Now, if you look at this is the festival season. Right, this is the holiday season in US. The clients actually shut down during the Christmas season, right? So they will give two weeks off for the employees. They just shut down their furloughs. Sure. The fact is that this quarter is very difficult to predict depending on which client is going to shut down for how long. If there's no shutdown, then you can predict something. But in this kind of environment and this kind of scenario where the clients are looking at shutdown, and most of it we'll get to know only by November. So I think there are many factors which play in terms of when you look at how this quarter is going to look. If you look at fourth quarter because of February, though there are no holiday seasons, has traditionally, they will always have lesser working days. So
Sure.
it is, and also, so if you combine the two factors of we having two bad quarters, two declining quarters in the last 8 quarters, you look at, we have had 2 good quarters, but I think does it mean that we are out of the woods and we are going to be on a continuous growth path? I don't know, because I think we need to see consistent performance at least for 4-5 quarters to really believe that our sales engine is now able to deliver sustainable growth. So I think considering all that fact, I think we all felt that it's better not to improve, to change the guidance or increase the guidance. I think we should just wait quarter on quarter and see how we are performing. And probably, I'm not really worried about this year. I think we have to really focus on making all the investment this year so that our next year looks better.